What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very interesting and exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the Mirror newspaper and various other journalists are reporting that Liverpool have found the successor of Virgil van Dijk in the Juventus brilliant, absolutely fantastic, world-class centre-back Bremer, who is a fantastic target, and Liverpool are prepared to finally sign him either in the January transfer window or next summer. And even if Van Dijk signs a new contract, Liverpool are trying to sign his, long-term successor. For 2 seasons in a row, Liverpool have failed to sign a new central defender, and the arrival of Jarell Quansah from the youth academy has been a very welcome boost to the centre-back area. But he's still very, very young. He still has a lot of improvements to be made. Joe Gomez is injury prone. We lost Joel Matip to a free transfer. He's still a free agent, by the way. So we have Konate, Van Dijk, and Gomez and Quansah, 4 excellent centre-back options. But Liverpool want to sign a long-term successor to Van Dijk and maybe a replacement if Van Dijk doesn't sign a new contract. But we will have a major update on Van Dijk's contract situation in this video as well, because in the second part of the video I will reveal a Van Dijk interview where he said something very, very interesting about his future. So Liverpool will need to sign a centre-back sooner or later. I think we can all agree on that. And with Van Dijk being 33 years old, Spanish sports source Fichajes are reporting that Liverpool have identified Juventus star Bremer as a potential reinforcement. Court of Side is also reporting this, that the opportunity to join Liverpool could be quite attractive for Bremer, who has shown his quality in Italy, and he has all the physical and technical attributes to do well in the Premier League. He will get a challenge for major trophies with Liverpool, and regular football in England could help improve Bremer. And Liverpool already had a good relationship with Juventus, because we signed Federico Chiesa from Juventus just recently. So maybe we will go back to the negotiating table very soon, maybe for a January transfer. And right now Bremer is at the peak of his powers. He's 27 years old and he has impressed with his performances in the Italian league. So Bremer could have still another 5, 6, 7 years at the top, and Bremer will want to compete at the highest level, and Liverpool could provide him with a platform that he needs. Apart from his defensive quality, he's an expert when it comes to his distribution and playing the ball out from the back. So in that sense, he would be ideal for Liverpool as well. He is unlikely to be a cheap acquisition. We wouldn't get a bargain like we did with Chiesa, because he still has a few years left on his contract. So he would cost around 60, maybe even more, 60 million pounds at least. And if Liverpool want to keep competing at the top level, then we would need to replace our key players like Van Dijk with equally world-class options. So that's where I think Bremer would be fantastic. Tutto Mercato Web, an Italian news outlet, is also reporting that Liverpool are monitoring Bremer, who is a key Juventus player. So Juventus wouldn't want to lose him for cheap, but Liverpool have a lot more money than Juventus. We can offer him higher wages, we can pay enough money for Juventus to consider this transfer. And according to these Italian newspapers, Liverpool are closely monitoring Bremer's performances this season. Liverpool are keen to assess him as they prepare to make a bid for the defender at the end of the campaign. Liverpool didn't make any defensive signings in the last transfer window, if you don't count the goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper will come in 2025. And Juventus want offers starting from 70 million euros, which is around 60 million pounds. Bremer has been one of the best players in Juventus, and Liverpool want him, but Juventus want to keep him as well. If a ridiculous offer comes in, then even the Juventus fans are saying that we should consider selling him under those circumstances. Luke Randall, an English journalist, is reporting that Liverpool have already earmarked Virgil van Dijk's replacement, and they are calling Bremer a monster, which is I'm not sure if that's the nickname that you should give him, but he is definitely a very tall, very strong, muscular, absolutely fantastic centre back, and he has that dominant presence that you want at the back. I hope we extend the contract of Van Dijk. Imagine a Bremer Van Dijk centre back partnership. That would be absolutely colossal. Two absolutely brilliant, very strong centre backs who could be really epic partnership at the heart of Liverpool's defense, at least for the next 1 or 2 years. And data analyst Ben Mattinson said that the Bremer played a key part in Juventus' season last time out. He only didn't play in 2 games for Juventus. All the rest of the games Bremer took part, and he's physically very strong. He can play either side, or right centre back or left centre back. He's excellent in the air, and he has a good sense of positioning. This isn't the first time that rumors have come out involving the defender, as it was stated that Bremer could have ended up joining Liverpool during the summer window that just closed. And Bremer said this: there are many strong defenders around the world, like Van Dijk. He's 2 steps above me because he won the Champions League already, and he plays in a tough league like the Premier League. In the end, when a player retires, only the trophies won count. If you haven't won nothing, you can't say you were the best. So he's referring to himself that he needs to win more trophies and titles to be considered one of the best centre-backs. So if Juventus can't challenge for trophies this season, then he would definitely look to leave. But Van Dijk has dropped a massive hint over his Liverpool future. He said, at both teams, at Liverpool and at the Netherlands national team, I'm still Virgil van Dijk, the big leader, and I certainly want to remain that for the next 2 years. I'm human, I have emotions too. You start thinking all kinds of things, especially just after the game where we lost to England in the semi-final in the last minute. I also understand that it came across unclear on how I stood on all of this, because after the match I was so disappointed and full of emotion. It perhaps came across as if it had been my last international match. I did have doubts that night, and I did hint that, but Van Dijk changed his mind and he wants to stay as the captain of the Netherlands national team, and he wants to stay at Liverpool for the next 2 or 3 years at least. So I think Liverpool should give him a 2-year contract extension, and for Van Dijk himself to publicly instigate and indicate that he wants to remain at Liverpool is the biggest clue yet as to his future at club level. Surely Liverpool will offer him a good enough contract that Van Dijk will sign. He will turn 34 next summer, so he's already earning £220,000 per week. So any prospective new deal will almost certainly be his last big contract before he leaves Liverpool and maybe retires or goes to Saudi Arabia. We will see. Fans would accept that he's not going to be playing for us for many years, and at some stage Liverpool will need to properly plan for life after him. That's why we are interested in signing Bremer. But the manner of his performances in recent months indicate that he still has an awful lot to offer to Liverpool and to Arne Slot's new look Liverpool team. Now that Van Dijk has hinted at his desire to remain at Liverpool, the ball is in Richard Hughes' court. This should be the signal to trigger contract talks with Van Dijk, and recently Salah made comments that he wants to stay at Liverpool as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm sure, is very eager to stay at Liverpool as well, so hopefully Liverpool will use these free international breaks. By the way, how ridiculous is it that in the first 3 months of the new season we have 6 weeks of international breaks. Not 1, not 2, but 3 different international breaks, each one lasting 2 weeks in the first 3 months of the season. That's absolutely bonkers. Whoever thought that was a good idea is an absolute idiot. And I would just block out time at the beginning of the season to get these Nations League games done, to get these Copa America games done. And that would mean less traveling for the international footballers. It would mean maybe a longer pre-season for all the other footballers at club level. But imagine if we could start the season at the end of September. We get all the international games done until then. So in August and September you get the Nations League games, the Copa America games, all the international football games ticked off. And that would be a 5-week period where the national team prepares games together. That would actually result in better national team games, higher quality football because the players are training together more often, less traveling for the players. I mean, in each of these international breaks, imagine how many air miles the South American players get. McAllister, Darwin Núñez, Alisson, and it's absolutely ridiculous that they are flying halfway around the world 3 times in a matter of 3 months. And that is absolutely crazy, this schedule. So I would start the season maybe at the end of September. I would get all the international games done until then. And then you can, have the season last from September until May, maybe with one more international break in there. Or you could start the season in August and have a big international break in the middle of the season where you have 6-7 weeks where you play all these international games, in the spring or in winter, whenever it's most suitable. But that's just my opinion. And talking about centre backs, Jarell Quansah came out with a fantastic interview saying that if I'm starting for Liverpool one day regularly, I will have to be one of the best centre-backs in Europe. It's always been my goal since I was young. I always wanted to be the best in the world in my position, so I'm striving for that. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. And Quansah has taken his start under Arne Slot on the chin, that he was substituted in the first game at halftime, and he even said that the manager was correct in substituting him. And Quansah has been brilliant when he has played for Liverpool's first 11. The long-term target for Jarell Quansah should be the middle centre-back role. He may get plenty of opportunities in Konaté's role for obviously reasons, but his current profile best suits the central centre-back role. Although he possesses so much versatility, I think he's more of a ball manipulator who can enter wide areas, but I wouldn't class him as a channel defender who holds wide positions too during settled attacks or when the right back is aggressive in a man-to-man press. His talent does surprise you. There was one game last season, Wolves away, he started as the left centre-back, we went a goal down, Jurgen Klopp quickly went to a 2-2-6 formation. Quansah really impressed that day in covering the space vacated by Robertson. But entering space, holding space are two different things. Konaté is best at it, but it also begs the question, does Quansah's profile, body positioning suit covering space from left centre-back positions? Maybe, time will tell. Quansah is still a very young player. He has an awful longer time to develop and grow, and I think it will be very interesting to watch his development in a Arne Slot setup after spending a year under Jurgen Klopp. Quansah could be more suited to left centre-back on paper and the central centre-back in a situation of 3 when Trent Alexander-Arnold is bombing forward. So there could be Van Dijk, Quansah and Robertson could be the 3 centre-backs back when Trent is playing in midfield. So he could be the central centre-back with Van Dijk and Robertson either side of him. And I also want to talk about Arne Slot's man management qualities, because it's what he has done with the players on the back of those substitutions that highlight his qualities. Arne Slot discussed the reasons for the early change with Quansah and he defended him publicly. Trent Alexander-Arnold was also briefed on the reasons for substituting him twice, with Arne Slot insisting he wants to keep Trent fresh and he wants to give opportunities to Conor Bradley, who played fantastically in Northern Ireland's 2-0 win against Luxembourg. There have been other notable stories about individuals. When Liverpool were searching for Jurgen Klopp as a successor and we were interviewing managers, the club highlighted players who needed assistance to get back to their high levels after ending last season badly. One of those was Konaté, who lost his place to Quansah and he didn't play a single minute for France at the Euros. Arne Slot had one-on-one meetings with many members of his team and recognized Konaté's ability to win first contact at set pieces and how his pace during counterattacks would be useful. He has also fired up Dominik Szoboszlai through coaching and man management. Szoboszlai now looks like a strong, dynamic number 8 who can mix the defensive duties with driving runs from midfield and play pinpoint passes in attacking areas. The most impressive though is Ryan Gravenberch, often the deepest lying of midfielder players. The 22-year-old has spent extra time working with Johnny Heitinga, who knew his skill set from their time together at Ajax, and so far looks comfortable in the role that Zubimendi was supposed to fill until he rejected Liverpool. By working on the fine details with Luis Diaz, he's also developing a ruthless streak. Although the sample size is so small, Diaz has 4 goals in 4 games and 1 assist. He scored for Colombia as well, so Arne Slot is doing wonders with Luis Diaz. If he can continue making clever runs at the right time, specific areas that have been worked on in training, then he might prove to be a difference maker this season. One major change collectively is the amount of detail that goes into preparing for games. Perhaps because Arne Slot is still learning a lot about each opponent, the number of team meetings at the AXA training center have increased dramatically, with training sessions as well as matches analyzed through video presentations, and I really like that a lot because you can find an edge in those video analysis meetings. Conor Bradley spoke about this after the friendly against Las Palmas. He wants to get his tactics embedded into us, he said about Arne Slot, so he needs to keep doing meetings to show us what we are doing well and what we are not doing well. It makes sense. Some are short and sharp, some are longer. Another slight change was the preparation for the first home game against Brentford, with the team meeting on the morning of the game rather than staying over in the Titanic Hotel like on the club. One of Arne Slot's biggest strengths is how he is able to delegate to those around him in his support team, and already the dynamic between his coaches Heitinga, Šipka Huslov and Aaron Briggs looks good. Fixing the expiring Darwin Núñez might be high on the next to-do list. The striker hasn't started a game yet, but it's too early to judge, and if Arne Slot gets the best out of Darwin Núñez, then Liverpool will have a fantastic season, and I'm already really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.